Okay, so we're looking at these questions here. Question one: a seller increases the price of sugar from 80 kwacha to 88 kwacha. If the price elasticity of demand is zero point 0.6 and the initial quantity sold is 1,200 kg, calculate the new total revenue and determine whether revenue has increased or decreased. So, first things first, colleagues, what is price elasticity of demand, PED? What does that mean? Mr. Twambo, Mr. Kasono, Madam Geraldine. Ish, colleagues, we've forgotten. Okay, price elasticity of demand. Okay, yes, let's go, sir. Yes, let's just put it in a more clear way. How quantity demanded, colleagues, I hope you write this down. How quantity demanded responds to changes in price. That is price elasticity of demand. How quantity demanded responds to changes in price. Okay, and we said there are two: there's elastic demand and inelastic demand. So, what does elastic demand mean and inelastic demand mean? Use an example, sir. Use an example, maybe. Okay, you have got the. Okay, let's just. You're in the correct. You're in the correct path. Yes, when price elasticity of demand is less than one, demand is inelastic. Okay, that's how you know that demand is in. Yes, Mr. Twambo. That is correct. When quantity demanded is not very responsive to changes in price, that is inelastic demand. When quantity demanded is not responsive to changes in price. Okay, so both of you have said the correct things. Okay, so colleagues, have we got that? Madam Geraldine, Madam Betha, Madam Yvonne. We say less responsive because we say not responsive. That means it does. Even though price changes, quantity demanded won't change. Mm. So we say less responsive, or it's not sensitive to changes in price. Okay. So price can increase by 10%. Okay, price can increase by 10%, and quantity demanded will reduce, maybe by 2%. Okay, to reduce by 2%. This is an example of inelastic demand. Okay, and remember, when your price elasticity of demand, PED, is less than 1, then demand is inelastic. Yes? Which was it now? The statement before that statement. Oh, yes. Yes, I gave an example. Yes. Yes. Think of especially like necessities like medicine. Maybe the price of cancer medicine increases by 10%. Okay. And the cancer patients know that if they stop buying this medicine, then they're not going to die. I mean, they're going to die. So they'll still have to buy it. Maybe some will stop, will buy less, others might stop, but there'll still be people still buying it because they need it to survive. Even during the times of Corona, all right, I hear price of hand sanitizer went up, but people are still buying because it was a necessity at that time. Even in elastic, yes, even salt. Just think of salt, because salt has got less substitutes. So if the price of salt goes up, you still be forced to buy salt, right? Yes. Maybe you are buying 3 packets, but you say, okay, since the price has gone up, I'll just be buying 1 packet or 2 packets. Yes, Mr. Trumbo. And okay, complete your question first so that we're not leaving anything unattended. Oh, in elastic, yes, 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 yes. Let's clap for Mr. Kasono because he's raised an important point there. Yes, when demand is inelastic, colleagues, okay, if you increase the price, okay, your total revenue will still go up. Okay. It seems revenue is more dependent on price than quantity demanded. As because even so in the exam in the assignment question, you saw with that one, huh? They increase the price, but quantity demanded we just went by down by a small amount, but still the total revenue increased. So yes, for inelastic demand, when you increase the price, total expect total revenue to go up. It might not always be the case, but would say on average, okay, with a confidence level of 95%. Colleagues, I hope you remember what the confidence level is. The confidence level of 95%, when demand is inelastic, if you increase the price, total revenue still go up. If you reduce the price, you see total revenue will go down. So, oh, Mr. Twambo, you had a question. As you're asking your question, Mr. Twambo, others, we can start solving this. Yes, Mr. Twambo? Yes. Though it sounds textbookish, but yes, that's correct. Degree of responsiveness. Yes. That's also okay. So, with this question here, what do we need to do? Because eventually they're asking us to calculate the total revenue. So, what do you think we need to do first in this question? Yes. Oh no, no, I was just getting it here. You can conclude that. You can conclude. Once the PED is less than one, then you can conclude. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay, so Q1 is 1,200. Uh-huh. Yeah. So we don't have a yeah. Wonderful, sir. Colleagues, why don't we clap for other colleagues? Why is it just me clapping? Ni majealous. Huh? Ni majealous. Okay, 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 okay. All right. So basically, we're trying to look for Q2 here, right? We're trying to look for Q. Yes. Okay, colleagues. Let's solve for Q2. Okay, yes. Okay. Well, thank you, sir, for that. Thank you. Now, colleagues, remember this zero point 0.6, we're going to represent it as negative zero point 0.6. Why, colleagues? Oh, yes, this is an absolute value given here. Yes. But the question is, why is there a negative value? Okay. Excuse me, excuse me. Yes, sir, you remember the explanation. Please tell us. Okay, but yeah, of course, today it's only been three people talking: Mr. Twambo, Mr. Kasono, Mr. Emmanuel. I think you're the one who talked about the formula, right? So at least you've added in. Yes. Mr. Chimonia. So four people. Oh, Madam Geraldine also helped in the explanation. Yes. So Madam Betha and Madam Yvonne and Madam Sylvia. It's your turn to shine now. Why is this? Why do I have a negative here? Okay, Mr. Twambo, you can interject. Okay, you're right, but let's just clear the statements correct. But I get what you're saying. Okay, I do get what you're saying. Due to the law of demand, colleagues, since there's an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded, so when one factor is going up, the other factor will go down all the time. Ceteris paribus. So whichever is going down, maybe it can be quantity that be going down or price that will be going down. It will be represented by a negative value. Okay, due to the law of demand. So that's why at the end of the questions, you always have to get the absolute value because due to the law of demand, every time you tabulate, you're always going to get a negative value every time. Okay. Yes. Is that okay, colleagues? Okay. What's the percent change in price? And can someone tell us how to find percent change in price? Those who have forgotten. How do you find percent change in price? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. That is correct, madam. Thank you. Or you can do P2 over P1 minus 1 times 100%. Okay. Yes. So let us get the percent change. Let me also calculate the percent change here. Okay. Has anyone got the percent change in price? 10%, right? So here you can represent it as 10% or you can represent it as 0.01, whichever you want. Okay. Then what do we do next? Mm-hmm. Yes. And how do we do that here? Mm-hmm. So we cross multiply here, right? So 10% times negative 0.6, you get negative 6%. So quantity demanded, percent change in quantity demanded drops by 6%. Colleagues, are we okay with this before we go to the next part? Okay. All right. So we've been told so quantity, percent change in quantity demanded drops by 6%. So our initial quantity is 1,200. So when it drops by 6%, 1 minus R. Okay. If it increased, it will be 1 plus R. Okay. Now, since it's dropped, that's why we're doing 1 minus R. So it'll be 1,200. Yes. Yes. Oh, here, yes. How you'll be able to know is when you get your final answer here. Okay. So, for example, if it was price that reduced by 10%, here you would have had a negative 10%. So that when you multiply it with this negative 0.6, negative and negative make positive. Then there you'd have known, okay, now quantity demanded has increased because my value of X is positive. So now here, since price has increased by 10%, and when you multiply it with this negative 0.6, this negative is the one that's telling you that quantity demanded has dropped. So that's how you'll be able to determine, madam, when you do the cross multiplications at this part here. Is that okay, madam? The rate is 6%, so we put 0.06. Now, colleagues, don't put at if this error you still put again at negative 0.06. No. Okay, just the way it is 0.06. So you have 1,200. 1 minus 0.06. What do we get? It's 6%, madam. 6 divided by 100. If you want, you can do, you get 6% of 1,200. Whatever value that is, then you subtract it from 1,200. You can do it that way, okay? Or you can use this method. Okay. 0.44 or 0.94. Okay, okay. 1,200 times 0.94. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, 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 no. If it was, for example, if it was 11%, it would have been 0.11. Yeah. No, the reason why we were doing minus R because there's a percent decrease. If 1 plus R. Mhm. So I never heard when I mentioned that. I mentioned that I even said that too. When putting this 0.06, don't include this here. This other. You are daydreaming, sir. Okay, yes. As I said, yeah, don't put the negative again. Because when you put the negative and you make this positive, then what you're implying now is that it's a percent increment. Okay? Yes. Any other questions? This is the new quantity. Quantity 2, 1,128. Are we all getting? Mm, okay. Oh, I think the question was how do you know if it's a decrease or an increase? Yes, as I said, when you reach this part for the cross multiplication, okay, as you can see here, this 10% is positive and this 0.6 is negative. So positive times negative, you get a negative. So because of this negative you've got, so you know that there's a decrease in percentage. Yes, if this 10%, if price dropped and it was like this 0.0, negative 0.6 equals x over negative 10%. When you cross multiply, you get a positive value. And then there you know, okay, now that's an increase. Yes, when there's an increase, wait, you add where first before I say yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. When there's an increase, it's 1 plus R, yes. When there's a decrease, it's 1 minus R. Yes. Are we all getting 1,128? Okay, total revenue. So we compare the total revenues. TR1 equals P1. Oh, Spoon feeding, colleagues. What did we say about spoon feeding? Colleagues, how do we get total revenue? Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. Yes. Okay, 96,000. Mm-hmm. It gives what? Huh? Okay, okay. So total revenue has still increased. Okay. Colleagues, are we okay with this? What was the value again, madam? 99,000? Okay, yes. Any questions, colleagues? This is correct. Any questions, queries, additions, subtractions? Okay, we can move on to the next one. Okay, the demand for bottled water is given by Q equals 5,000 minus 20p plus 10y. So, colleagues, we call this a multivariable demand equation. Okay, what does a multivariable demand equation imply? Our English experts, Madam Sylvia, what does multivariable? Divide. Hmm. No, so it's so division here. When they're attached like this, it's multiplication. Okay, okay. Yes, get the screenshots of the calculations, colleagues. No, it's okay, sir. It's okay. Remember, the more questions you ask, the more clearer you get and the more understanding. So that's why I say, ask Mr. Kasono. Okay, don't say that, the people will start thinking I'm taking them back. No, remember you are representing how many others? 100 others, right? Mhm. Okay, okay, okay. What I was saying that due to the law of demand, when one variable increases, the other variable will decrease. So since there's a variable decreasing, that variable can be quantity or can also be price. So since one variable is decreasing, that's why there's always going to be a negative sign. Mm, okay. Now I back to my question. I asked what is a multivariable, what do we mean when we say multivariable demand function? Mr. Chimunia? Okay, colleagues, when we say multivariable, it just means apart from price, there are other factors that can also affect quantity demanded. So remember, usually you're used to seeing a demand function where it's just a number and a p. There's just a q and a p. But here we can see a y. Y represents income. Okay, colleagues? Whenever you see a y in these demand functions, y or m, it represents income. Okay? So in this demand function, quantity demanded is affected by two things. The price of water, if you isolate the equation and you say, okay, what's the relationship between quantity demanded and the price of water? Since there's this negative sign here, it means there's a negative relationship between quantity demanded and the price of water. Meaning, if the price of water goes up, quantity demanded is going to go down. And if the price of water goes down, quantity demanded is going to go up. Are we okay with that point? Mhm. Yes, 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 yes. Then quantity demanded is also affected by income. So since there's a plus sign here, colleagues, what kind of relationship does income have with quantity demanded because of this plus sign? Excuse me. Yes. If income goes up. Yes, yes. Uh-huh. And vice versa, right? Mm-mm, mm-mm. We're going we're going to determine that for the income elasticity of demand, but income elasticity of demand classifies goods either as normal as inferior, normal or inferior goods. Okay. Income elasticity of demand classifies goods as normal and inferior goods. What is a normal good, colleagues? And what is an inferior good? Okay. Yes. May I eat soya chunks? I eat soya chunks. Okay, one well explained, yes. And although the first part when you're describing normal good, you're supposed to say when your income goes up, you buy more of that good. But you say something else. But all in all, you're correct, madam. Yes, yes. Colleagues, are we all okay with that? Ah, um, okay. Um, yes, Mr. Chimunya, maybe you can explain. So, um, well, yes, it increases when your income yes. I'll check your definition, Mr. Chimunya. Okay, I'll check. Maybe that's a PhD definition. So I'll check. And it's got a positive income elasticity. Okay. Okay. All right. Yes. So, Mr. Trump, normal good, your income increases, you buy more of that good. Inferior good, your income increases, you buy less of that good. Is that okay, Mr. Trump? Should I go deeper, Mr. Trumbo? Should I go deeper? Eesh, eesh, eesh. No, 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 no. Um, it's important that you get the concept. When your income increases, are you able to get me clearly now? Yes, for a normal good, if your income increases, you buy more of that good, like mini meal, tea, coffee, sugar. Okay. Inferior good, when your income increases, you buy less. Okay. Um, I don't want to mention any inferior good. I can be crucified here, sir. You're saying that's an inferior good. Okay, so this type of questions, this is how you get your price elasticity of demand, and this is how you get your income elasticity of demand. Income elasticity of demand, how quantity demanded responds to changes in income. Okay, how quantity demanded responds to changes in income. What about cross price elasticity of demand? How the quantity demanded of one good responds to changes in the price of another good. How the quantity demanded of one good responds to changes in pricing of another good. So with this type of question, colleagues, am I audible? It was showing me like I was kicked out for a while. Am I audible? Mm, okay. Okay. So, first thing that you need to do with this type of with these questions, since you have been given if p equals 30 and y equals 25, so these values, let's substitute them into the demand equation. So it's going to be q equals 5,000 minus 20. Oh, 20. Then where there's p, substitute it with 30 plus 10y. So where there's y, substitute it with 25. Let's get the quantity demanded. Oh, colleagues, this 5,000, what does it represent as we are tabulating this equation? What does the 5,000 represent? Because no one has asked. So what about that 5,000? We've just accepted everything, but we've ignored the 5,000. And then in the exam, they tell you, explain what the intercept means. Because this is the intercept here. Okay, your demand function, where it's 5,000 here. Where it's 5,000, that's where it's starting like this. It's not starting at the origin where it's 0, 0, no. Where it's 5,000, then it starts going up. So what does this 5,000 imply? That's homework. Okay, colleagues, that will be your homework. All right. Yes. What value have we got? 5,000 minus 600 plus 250. Or 650. Yes. Colleagues, are we all okay with this? Okay. So we calculate the price elasticity of demand first. So this here, it means we're going to partially derive our demand function with respect to price. Meaning, when you're deriving this function, if there is no p next to the number, they disappear. Okay? If there is no p next to the number, it disappears. So, we'll come back to mathematics. SOB 1040, back to differentiation calculus. So, can someone derive this for me? Sir, what about you? Correct. He's just forgotten a sign. Yes, negative 20. Yes. Mm. Colleagues, at least we can clap for Mr. Kasono. At least, yeah, at least, here, at least, we need to clap. Marcella, see, uh, colleagues, are we okay with how the 20 came about? Okay, by the silence. Huh? Yes, yes. Mhm. P2 over P1. Yes, because partly the reason is because here you've only got one price. There's only one P1, okay, and there's only one Q1. So there's no other price to compare it with. Then if we then another reason is because remember differentiation is talking about rates of change or how something changes. Okay, so since we've got only one P1 and one Q1, you can use differentiation to get a rate of change basically. Okay? So yes. So this I've forgotten what they call this sign. Sigma Q over sigma P becomes negative 20. Okay, so in our formula, this 5,000 goes because it doesn't go to P, this 10y goes. Differentiation, exponent, multiply. 5,000 minus 600, that is 5,400 plus 250 for 650. So this we substitute with negative 20 times the price 30 over 4,650 because we're differentiating with respect to P. So if so 30 divided by 4,650 negative 0.129. Okay, so absolute value is, so even here you still have to get the absolute value, okay, colleagues? So 0.129. So is demand elastic or inelastic? Yes, inelastic. Okay, colleagues, I need to switch to the Unilas students. So can I trust you with this one here? YED here. Can I trust you with that